when you finally learn how to speak to the universe in the right way, truly, honestly, and from the deepest part of who you are, that's when everything begins to shift, not just a little, but in ways that ripple through your entire existence. And right now, as I speak to you, I want you to take a breath and open your heart just for a moment, because what we're about to talk about isn't just philosophy, a flesher or theory, or iconifly, or theory. It's your life, your truth, and your power. Life, in all its unpredictability and mystery, is not something happening to you. It's not just a random sequence of events. It's a living, breathing dialogue. And you, yes you, are constantly shaping that dialogue with every word you whisper into the world, every thought that sums, every thought you let settle in your mind, every feeling you nurture in your heart. That's your conversation with life itself. Maybe you've been doing everything right, saying all the affirmations, holding on to all the positive thoughts. You've been journaling, meditating, praying, hoping, and still, you're left wondering, why hasn't it changed yet? Why does it still feel like you're stuck in the same patterns? I want you to know that I understand that feeling. That ache of waiting, the confusion of doing all the right things and seeing no movement. But there's something I want you to hear, not just with your ears, but with your entire being. The words you say are only part of the equation. Now, what really transforms your reality is the belief, the energy behind those words. When you speak to the universe, it's not about reciting perfect phrases or using flawless language. It's about the vibration behind the words, the energy that pulses through your voice when you say, "I'm ready," or "I am worthy," because the universe isn't responding to syllables. It's responding to your vibration, your heart, your soul. So I want you to picture something. Imagine the universe like a wise and endlessly loving parent, always present, always watching with gentle eyes. Always present. It doesn't rush you, doesn't judge you, but it waits patiently for you to truly believe in yourself, for you to step into your power and speak not just from your lips, but from your whole being. This loving presence, this cosmic intelligence hears everything, not just what you say, but what you mean. It listens for the truth in your energy, in your and it waits for you to align not just your words, but your belief with the life you say you want. You say you want. You've heard people say that your thoughts shape your world, that changing your mindset can change your life. Change your life. That's all true. But what they don't always tell you is that change doesn't come from repeating empty phrases. It comes when you infuse those words with conviction. When you say, "I deserve joy," and feel it echoing through your bones. When you say, "I am abundant," and your heart believes you, you are not powerless. You never were. But maybe, just maybe, you've forgotten how powerful your voice really is. Maybe you've underestimated the weight of your words and the way they ripple out into the universe, shaping what flows back to you. So, if you've been repeating affirmations and nothing seems to be changing, I invite you to pause, close your eyes, ask yourself, do I really believe what I'm saying? Am I speaking these words because I trust they're true? Or because I hope they might be? That little voice inside, the one that doubts, that questions, that hesitates, that's the voice the universe hears loudest, not because it wants to punish you, but because it mirrors back to you the energy you put out. If you wake up in the morning and sigh, "I'm so tired," life is so hard, then that's the vibration you're setting. And the universe, always listening, responds not out of cruelty, but out of alignment. It says, "Okay, more of that coming your way." But imagine if you started your day differently. Imagine if the first thought you chose was, I'm grateful to be alive. I welcome this new day. Hri pours with purred and fervors with possibility. Suddenly, your energy shifts. You begin resonating with gratitude, with openness, with possibility. And the universe? It mirrors that too, power. This is the beginning of the shift. This is where it starts. Not in some grand, dramatic moment, but in the quiet power of your words every day. Every sentence, every breath, you're never asking for too much. There's no such thing as a request that's too small or too big for the universe. What matters isn't the size of your dream. It's the belief behind it. When you speak from a place of love and faith, a hadharmer, when you believe, truly believe, that you are worthy of the life you envision, the entire cosmos leans in. You might not see results right away. You might feel like nothing's changing, but trust me, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. The universe works in perfect timing, not your timing. And sometimes things have to shift beneath the surface before they bloom into reality. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it, you trust, you let the soil do its quiet magic. The same is true with your words. Widerwords. Believer. Speak them with belief and then give the universe space to move. And never forget, you are not alone in this. You are never alone. There is a force greater than you, but not separate from you, always working in your favor. Always guiding, supporting, loving. But you must open the door. You must be willing to receive. And that begins with the way you speak. The universe is not some distant, disconnected force floating above your life. So it is within you, around you, listening to the energy of your words like an old friend who has always known your heart. But in order for it to respond in kind, you have to speak with clarity, with emotion, with presence. You have to speak as if the universe is already unfolding miracles in your favor, because it is. Now I want you to take a moment and reflect. How do you usually talk to yourself when you're alone, when no one's listening? What words fill your inner space? Are they words of encouragement, of belief, of love? Or are they filled with self-criticism, fear, and doubt? Because here's the truth many of us avoid facing. Der Schöpfer so of unpart has suprik. The universe doesn't only respond to what you say out loud, it's listening to your inner monologue too, that private, ongoing dialogue you have in your head. Those silent thoughts, they are just as powerful. They carry energy, they carry vibration, and they're shaping your reality whether you realize it or not. So if your self-talk sounds like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never have the life I want, that becomes the reality you continue to create. Not because the universe is judging you, but because it's mirroring you. It's responding to the signal you're sending. But here's the beauty of it all. You can shift that signal right now. Today, the shift doesn't require you to fix everything overnight. It doesn't demand perfection. What it asks for is a willingness, a decision, a moment where you say, I'm done talking myself out of joy. I'm ready to speak from belief. I'm ready to align my energy with the life I desire. That single decision, repeated daily, creates momentum, and momentum changes everything. This isn't about pretending. It's not about faking positivity or forcing joy. It's about choosing your words and your thoughts with care, with love, because they're not just sounds or phrases. They are building blocks. They are building blocks with a delning. They're the material from which your future is shaped. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like your dreams are on pause? Like you've been speaking your desires out into the world, but nothing seems to be happening? I want to remind you gently. Just because something hasn't arrived yet doesn't mean it isn't on its way. Life doesn't operate on your clock. It works on divine timing, on cosmic alignment. There are things being orchestrated behind the scenes that you cannot see, invisible threads being woven, doors preparing to open, and in the waiting, your belief is tested, not to punish you, but to strengthen you, because it's in that space between desire and manifestation that your trust becomes real. So don't give up when you don't see results immediately. Don't withdraw your belief the moment things feel still. Keep speaking, keep trusting, keep showing up in the energy of what you want to receive. And here's something else I want you to remember. Your worth isn't up for debate. You don't have to earn the love, joy, or abundance you're asking for. You were born worthy. You don't need to struggle to prove you deserve good things. The universe already knows your value. The universe already knows your value. It's waiting for you to recognize it too. That's what the shift really is. It's not just about manifesting things. It's about stepping into the truth of your being. It's about aligning with the belief that you are already enough, that you are already a magnet for the life you seek, not in the future, not someday, but now. And gratitude? Gratitude is one of the most magnetic frequencies you can send out. It tells the universe, I see the good, I'm thankful for it, I'm ready for more. Try it. Start your mornings with gratitude. Not just saying it, but feeling it. Thank the universe for the breath in your lungs, for the sunrise, for the fact that you get another day to show up and grow. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a declaration. A powerful, radiant energy that draws more goodness to you like a flame. Draws light. When you lead with gratitude, you signal to the universe that you're aligned with abundance. And the universe, it responds with joy. It brings you more to be thankful for. More moments of grace, more synchronicities, more miracles. This is why the way you speak, both to yourself and to the world, is sacred. It's not just communication, it's creation. It's creation. If you keep saying, I'm stuck, you stay stuck. But if you start saying, I'm growing, even when you don't fully believe it yet, you begin to rise. Not because the words are magic, but because the energy behind them starts shifting your inner state. And that inner shift is what creates the outer change. So yes, talk to the universe. Yes, talk to the universe. Enter a believe or like or recite feel. But don't just talk, believe. Don't just recite, feel. Speak as if your words are casting spells of possibility, because they are. You are not a victim of chance. You are a conscious creator. You get to decide what kind of energy you send out. You get to choose the script you speak into your life. And every time you speak with faith instead of fear, with love instead of lack, Shamna, and with joy instead of judgment, you take one step closer to the life that's waiting for you. That's the shift. That's the secret. That's the beginning of everything. Think of your life like a river, ever flowing, ever responding to the terrain around it. Your words, your beliefs, your emotions, they are the banks that shape that river's path. The sop. They shake, and the more intentional you become, the more you begin to carve a course toward peace, joy, abundance, and love. But here's the thing, that river can't flow smoothly if it's blocked by fear, by doubt, by old beliefs that no longer serve you. So that you, and most of us, without even realizing it, are carrying those blocks around like familiar old luggage. We've been told we're not enough. We've been told we're scarce. We've been conditioned to think we must hustle endlessly, prove ourselves, suffer to be worthy, that somehow struggle is noble and ease is a fantasy. But the universe doesn't operate on guilt. It doesn't trade blessings for burnout. It doesn't wait for you to be perfect before it loves you. In fact, it already does. Right now. In your imperfection, in your uncertainty, the universe is already in love with who you are. The repunch, and so the only question that remains is, do you love you? Do you believe in the magic flowing through your veins? Aha! Do you speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you cherish? Or have you been your own worst critic, your own harshest judge? Because make no mistake, the way you talk to yourself sets the tone for everything else. With water, you cannot speak to yourself with cruelty and expect kindness to flood your life. Warm on your life. You cannot nurture self-doubt and expect clarity to bloom. You cannot entertain fear and expect peace to take root. And this is not about shame. It's about awareness. It's about waking up to the truth that you hold the pen. You are writing your story in real time. Every sentence you whisper in your own mind is shaping what comes next. So let's shift that story. Let's write a new chapter. One where you speak to yourself with the tenderness you deserve. One where you look in the mirror and say, I love you. I believe in you. I'm here for you. It might feel awkward at first. It might feel like a lie. But stay with it. And jar, because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a truth you already believe and a truth you're learning to accept. You are Tom Bass. It only knows repetition. It learns through practice. Sanchi alls, and with every kind word, every loving affirmation, Moings, you are retraining your inner world to support you instead of sabotage you. That's why I always say affirmations are not magic spells. They are practice. They are reconditioning. They are a reminder of what's possible, of what's already within you, waiting to be claimed. And if you've been saying affirmations for weeks or months and still feel stuck, Everwoestermans, I want to offer you a gentle question. Are you saying the words, or are you living them? Are you repeating phrases like, I am abundant, while secretly thinking, I'll never have enough? Chis. Fafshend. Are you declaring I am worthy, while still clinging to the belief that you need to earn love? Because that inner resistance is where the shift begins. So, that gap between what you say and what you believe, that's the space the universe is watching, and it's in that space that your healing can begin. Don't run from it. Don't shame yourself for it. Meet it with love. Say, okay, I see you, doubt. I see you, fear. I know you've been trying to protect me, but I'm ready to let you go. I'm ready to trust in something bigger now, because when you ask the universe for what you want, it's not just listening to your words, it's listening to your willingness, your surrender, your energy. And when that energy is infused with openness, with belief, with readiness, the universe begins to move mountains. It brings the right people, the right conversations, the chance meetings, the unexpected breakthroughs, not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it. This is the art of company creation. Now, it's not about controlling every detail. It's about doing your part, speaking with love, believing in your worth, and then letting the universe handle the rest. Believerst sate, you don't need to know the how. You only need to know the what and the why, and when you let go of the need to micromanage life, something miraculous happens. Space opens. Possibility expands. Miracles begin to find you, so speak clearly, speak kindly, speak as someone who knows. Their words are sacred because they are. They always have been. Every time you say, I am open to receive, you're sending out a signal. Every time you whisper, thank you, even in the middle of struggle, you're tuning your frequency to receive more of that goodness. Gratitude is not just a feeling. It's an activation. It tells the universe, I recognize the beauty already here, and I'm ready for more. And the universe always answers that call. Always. Let's take a deeper look at what happens when you begin to let go of control, when you stop demanding to see every detail of how things will unfold, and instead, you lean into trust. Trust isn't passive. It's not resignation. Trust is a powerful decision, a choice to believe in something greater than your current circumstances. It's a choice to believe that the path ahead, even if unseen, is leading you somewhere meaningful. So many of us carry the weight of needing to know. We want to map out every step, predict every turn, secure every outcome before we take the first move. But life doesn't unfold that way. The most beautiful transformations happen when we surrender to the unknown with faith, because here's the secret: the universe is always orchestrating things for your highest good, even when you can't see it. Especially when you can't see it. But when you grip tightly to expectations, when you cling to fear or insist on controlling how your blessings arrive, how your blessination create resistance, you close the door to possibilities you never even imagined. The kafirful, too less. Have you ever had something work out even better than you hoped? Just not in the way you planned? That's not coincidence. That's the divine at work. That's what happens when you let go and allow the universe to surprise you. So instead of saying, how will this ever happen? For luck did this ever happen? Try asking, what if something amazing is already unfolding for me? Instead of saying, I need this to happen right now, try saying, Walshers, overhard the flavs. I trust that everything is arriving exactly when I'm ready to receive it. So feel the difference in that energy. One is rooted in fear, the other is rooted in faith. Faith is fertile ground for miracles. Remember, the universe isn't trying to test your patience just for the sake of it. The delay isn't denial, it's alignment. Sometimes life has to prepare you. Sometimes other things need to shift before your blessing can land. It's not about punishment. It's about positioning. And in those in-between moments, the moments where nothing seems to be happening, those are the most sacred, because that's when you're being invited to deepen your belief, to strengthen your energy, to become the version of you who can hold the blessing you've been asking for. So don't resent the waiting, honor it. Let it be a time of preparation, of grounding, of building your trust muscle. Let it be a time where your faith becomes unwavering, not because you see the results, but because you know deep down that they're coming. For question, this is the shift that changes everything. When your belief becomes stronger than your doubt, when your gratitude becomes louder than your complaints, when your trust becomes bigger than your fear, that's when momentum takes hold. That's when the universe starts reflecting your new frequency. And here's something else I want you to carry with you. You don't have to do this alone. You can ask the universe for help. You can say, guide me, show me the blocks I don't yet see, help me release what's holding me back, help me rise into who I'm becoming. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. That's what company creation looks like. And when you ask from the heart, when you open yourself to receive, not just the outcome, but the guidance along the way, the universe responds with open arms. It might not look the way you expected. The guidance might come through a conversation, a book, a moment of stillness, but if you're listening, you'll hear it. And if you're open, it will move you. So don't be afraid to say, I don't know how, but I'm willing. I don't see the way yet, but I'm ready. I don't have all the answers, but I trust that they're coming. That energy of openness, of humility, of belief, that's magnetic. That's where the shift lives, that oversee. And once you feel it, even just for a moment, everything changes. because you realize the power has always been inside you, not in your ability to force outcomes, but in your ability to believe in something greater. So, in your ability to align with what you desire rather than chase it. So breathe that in. Let it settle in your heart. You don't need to have all the answers right now. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to hustle harder or earn your way into joy. You just need to speak from your truth, live from your heart, and trust that the universe is already responding, because it is, and it always will. Let's talk about something that often gets overlooked in this journey. Receiving. Yes, receiving. We often think of manifestation and creating our reality as this active process. Asking, believing, speaking, visualizing. But the other half, the quieter, softer half, is allowing. And allowing means being open to receive. This might sound simple, but for so many of us, this is where the real work lies. Because deep down, we carry beliefs that block our ability to fully receive the love, joy, abundance, and peace we ask for. Vajraslater thoughts. You may not even be aware of them, but they show up in moments when good things come your way and you deflect them. When someone compliments you and you brush it off. When opportunities appear and you talk yourself out of them. That's not humility. That's unworthiness speaking, and it's okay. We've all been there. We've all been taught in subtle ways that we need to earn our blessings. And that we must prove our value before we can be given anything good. But that's not how the universe works. The universe isn't keeping score. It's not waiting for you to check off a list of accomplishments. It's not asking you to be anyone other than who you are, but you might be waiting until you lose the weight, until you make the money, until you have the title, until you feel more confident or qualified. Let me tell you something. You are already worthy, not someday. Not eventually, now. And when you finally embrace that truth, not just intellectually, but in your body, in your soul, that's when the floodgates open. That's when the shift you've been asking for starts to unfold in visible, undeniable ways. Because you're not just asking anymore. You're saying to the universe, I am ready to receive. I am ready to hold what I once feared I didn't deserve. That's powerful. That's magnetic. And that's what changes everything. But let's take it even deeper. What does it actually look like to live in receiving energy? It means moving through your day with a sense of openness. It means releasing the tension in your body, the grip of control, the mental checklist of what still isn't done. It means tuning into the present moment, even if things aren't perfect yet. It means saying thank you before the thing arrives. It means feeling the feeling of having it, even if you don't see it yet. And that's where many people get confused. They say, how can I feel abundant when my bank account is low? How can I feel loved when I'm alone? But that's the essence of faith. Feeling it before it arrives, trusting that your energy sets the tone long before your reality catches up. That's the real shift. So, about faking it, it's about embodying it, choosing to act, think, and feel as if what you desire is already part of your life. Not because you're delusional, but because you know the universe responds to that kind of alignment. And slowly, day by day, the world begins to reflect it. You'll see people treat you differently. You'll feel lighter. You'll attract opportunities, insights, resources, and relationships that match your new frequency. Why? Because you stopped waiting. You started receiving. You started receiving. And the truth is, we are always receiving, whether we realize it or not. Every day, you're receiving feedback from life based on the energy you're putting out. So ask yourself, what am I making room for? What am I available for? One. If you want peace, are you willing to let go of drama? If you want abundance, are you ready to release scarcity thinking? If you want love, are you open to being vulnerable, to being seen? Because receiving isn't passive, it's active surrender. It's a choice to create space emotionally, mentally, even physically for what you're calling in. You can't fill a cup that's already overflowing with fear and self-doubt. You have to pour some of that out, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's all you've known. And when you do, the universe rushes in to meet you, not because it was holding back, but because you finally made space. So let today be the day you stop shrinking, stop blocking, stop deflecting, start receiving. Receive compliments with a smile and a thank you. Receive guidance with openness. Receive support without guilt. Receive rest without shame. Where wake without explanation, refrain from additions. Receive joy without suspicion. Receive abundance without explanation, because you are enough. You always have been. The shift you've been waiting for, it's waiting for you too. It's right on the other side of your willingness to receive. And when you begin to live that truth, not just say it, but feel it, breathe it, walk in it, the entire universe opens up. A universe owned. Now let's talk about one of the greatest forces you can align with. Gratitude. Not the kind of gratitude you force out of obligation or repeat without emotion, but real, soul-deep gratitude. The kind that wells up from within and spills over, not just because of what you have, but because of who you are and where you're going. Gratitude is more than just a polite thank you. It's a vibration. It's a declaration. It's a way of telling the universe, I see the beauty. I acknowledge the blessings. I am present with what is wet. And when you start your day in that energy, even if everything isn't perfect, you begin to rewire your reality. Gratitude shifts your focus. Instead of obsessing over what's missing, you start recognizing what's already here. And in that recognition, something miraculous happens. You become a magnet for more. And have you ever noticed that the more grateful you are, the more there is to be grateful for? It's not a coincidence. It's energy. The universe is constantly responding to the frequency you're tuned into. When your dominant frequency is I don't have enough, you attract more situations that reflect lack. But when your energy is grounded in thank you for what I do have, you draw in more of what you want, even in ways you didn't expect. Gratitude doesn't wait for everything to be perfect. It finds the beauty in the messy, the sacred in the simple. It's the quiet thank you whispered in the midst of uncertainty. Thank you whispered. The deep breath taken in traffic, the smile shared with a stranger. The moment you look at your own reflection and say, I'm proud of you, those are not small things. Those are everything. And if you want to accelerate the shift you're calling into your life, start there. Make gratitude your foundation. Let it be the lens you look through, the energy you carry, the language you speak. And speak it often, out loud, to yourself, to others, to the universe. Say thank you for your breath, for your strength, for the lessons that shaped you, for the grace that sustained you when you didn't even know you needed it. Say thank you for the opportunities still unfolding, for the people who believe in you, for the resilience you've built, for the version of you that refused to give up, because when you live in gratitude, your entire world expands. And yes, there will be days when it's hard, days when it feels like nothing is going right. when the losses feel heavier than the wins, when the noise of the world tries to drown out the whispers of hope. But those are the moments when gratitude is needed most. And it's easy to be grateful when everything is going well. But it's powerful to be grateful when things are uncertain. That's when you activate faith. That's when you build momentum. That's when the universe takes notice. Not because you're trying to prove something, but because you're demonstrating trust. And trust is the key that unlocks divine timing. You see, sometimes the universe delays things not to punish you, but to prepare you to align people and pieces that you can't yet see. And the waiting doesn't mean you failed. It means you're being positioned. Gratitude in the waiting, that's next level alignment. And don't wait for huge, dramatic moments to be thankful. Begin with what's here. The warmth of your blanket, the flavor of your coffee, the sunlight through your window, the fact that you woke up today with another chance to live, to love, to speak powerfully into your life, because those moments matter. And the more you honor them, the more the universe honors you. So build a practice around it. Keep a gratitude journal. Say thank you before bed. Speak blessings over your food. Pause during the day to acknowledge something good, no matter how small. And most importantly, let your gratitude be felt. Let it be alive in your tone, your body, your energy. Don't just say, I'm grateful. Breathe it in. Let it ground you. Let it lift you. Because when you embody gratitude, you become a living prayer, a vessel for peace, a magnet for miracles. And that's where the shift finds you on. Now that you understand the power of gratitude, let's talk about something even more personal. Your self-talk. The way you speak to yourself matters more than most people realize. It's not just internal dialogue. It's not just background noise. It's the foundation of how you experience life, how you interact with the universe, and how you shape your reality. Every time you speak to yourself, you're either reinforcing your worth or undermining it. You're either lifting yourself or shrinking. And the universe is listening, not in judgment, but in alignment, the inner voice. So ask yourself, what's the tone of your inner voice? When you make a mistake, do you say, I'm such an idiot? Or do you say, I'm learning, and that's okay? When you look in the mirror, do you criticize your reflection? Or do you offer yourself grace? Because here's the thing, the universe doesn't distinguish between the words you speak to others and the ones you whisper to yourself. All of it is energy. All of it is creative force. And if your inner language is full of self-doubt, harshness, or unworthiness, that becomes the signal you send out, and the universe responds, not because it's punishing you, but because it reflects back the energy you emit. But when your self-talk is loving, encouraging, compassionate, when you say things like, I've got this, or I trust myself, or I'm proud of how far I've come, you begin to shift the vibration you carry. And that shift changes everything. You start making decisions from a place of self-worth instead of self-sabotage. You attract people who respect you because you respect yourself. You open to receiving love because you've stopped rejecting yourself. This is why healing your inner dialogue is such a sacred practice. And yes, it may feel uncomfortable at first. If you've spent years being your own worst critic, it might feel strange to suddenly speak kindly to yourself. You might not believe the kind words right away. That's okay. Say them anyway, because your mind is always listening. Your heart is always responding. And even if it feels awkward, every kind word you speak to yourself begins to soften the resistance, to undo the conditioning, to rebuild the trust. It's not about perfection. You will still have days where doubt creeps in. You will still have moments when the old script plays louder than the new one. But the goal isn't to never fall. It's to notice when you do and gently guide yourself back. You say, I see you, fear, but I choose faith. You say, I hear the old story, but I'm writing a new one now. This is how you reclaim your power. Word by word, thought by thought. And if you don't know where to start with something simple. Say to yourself every morning, I am here, I am learning. I am worthy. Look yourself in the eyes and say, you're doing better than you think. When you catch yourself spiraling into negativity, pause. Take a breath. Choose again. This doesn't mean pretending everything's fine when it's not. It means choosing a more loving perspective. It means choosing to speak from possibility instead of defeat. And as you practice this, you begin to notice something magical. The world starts responding differently to you. People speak to you more kindly. Opportunities find you. Peace feels more natural, not because the world changed, but because you changed your frequency, you stopped being at war with yourself, you aligned your words with love, and the universe followed suit. So, speak gently, speak powerfully. Speak to yourself like someone who finally remembers who they are. Because when your inner world shifts, your outer world has no choice but to follow. So and now that you're beginning to change the way you speak to yourself, you'll notice something even more profound beginning to happen. Says, using the profound, the blocks that once seemed immovable, they begin to soften. The heaviness that used to sit on your shoulders every morning, it begins to lift. Why? Because your energy is no longer fighting against itself. It's beginning to harmonize, and the universe doesn't need perfection from you. It needs alignment. It needs sincerity. And that's exactly what begins to unfold when you replace self-judgment with compassion, when you meet your fears with grace, when you approach your dreams with unwavering belief. But sometimes, let's be honest, those blocks run deep. They've been built up over years of disappointment, rejection, guilt, failure. They've been planted by past pain, by what others told you, by what you thought you had to become to be loved, and that's okay. There's no shame in that. But now, you get to release those blocks, not all at once, not by force, but by asking for help, by opening up to healing. You see, you don't have to do this alone. You can speak directly to the universe and say, help me release what no longer serves me. Help me see what I've been blind to. Help me forgive, let go, move forward. That's a powerful conversation. One of the most sacred things you can do is ask for support, not because you're weak, but because you're ready to grow. And the universe responds to that humility. It honors that vulnerability. It begins to illuminate the unconscious beliefs that have been quietly steering your life. Beliefs like, I don't deserve ease, or if I rest, I'll fall behind, or I have to struggle for success. These are not truths. These are stories. Stories that were probably passed down or picked up somewhere along the way. And the beautiful news, you can choose to let them go. You can write a new story. That's what affirmations really are. They're not just positive words, they're rewrites. Voila. They're the editing of your subconscious script. When you say, I am safe, or I am abundant, or I am enough, you're not just making a wish, you're laying a new foundation. You're rebuilding a belief system. You're sending a message to every part of your being that says, this is who I truly am. But here's the key. You have to feel it. Saying the words without emotion is like watering a plant with an empty cup. There has to be something real behind it. That doesn't mean you have to believe it. Lavender, you buy right away. You just have to be willing to try, willing to soften, willing to feel even just a flicker of truth in those words. The shift doesn't happen when the words are perfect. It happens when the heart is present. So when you speak your affirmations, speak them with presence. Feel them in your body. Let them move through your chest, your breath, your bones. Say them as if you're comforting the child within you. Say them as if you're calling back the parts of you that got lost along the way. Because you're gathering yourself again. You're remembering your worth, your light, your truth. The hyper. And yes, some days will be harder than others. Some days the old beliefs will come roaring back, trying to convince you that you're not changing fast enough, that you're faking it, that you're stuck. But those voices, they're echoes. They're not your future. So let them come, but don't let them stay. Notice them. And then choose to respond differently. You say, thank you for trying to protect me, but I don't need that anymore. You say, that may have been true once, but it's not who I am now. And you go back to your truth, back to your breath, back to your power. Because with every repetition, with every moment of awareness, with every conscious choice, you are rewriting your reality. You are shifting the energy not just around you, but within you. And that shift, that's everything. By now, you've probably started to feel it. That inner shift, the quiet, steady transformation, the flicker of belief that wasn't there before. And that's no accident. That's your energy recalibrating. That's your spirit remembering. That's you stepping into the creator you've always been. But here's something important to hold close as you continue. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. This isn't about shouting your affirmations or declaring your goals just once with passion and then falling silent. It's about showing up day after day, moment after moment with intention. Even if it's quiet, even if it's subtle. Especially when it's difficult, because the most profound change doesn't come in bursts. It comes in the daily choice to believe again, to speak with love again, to trust again. And yes, that takes courage. It's not easy to keep going when you're not seeing results yet. And it's not easy to keep believing when nothing looks different on the outside. But that's where real transformation lives. In the decision to stay aligned, even in the absence of proof. Think of it like a seed. When you plant it, you don't see anything for days, maybe even weeks. There's no movement on the surface. But beneath the soil, everything is changing. Roots are stretching. The foundation is forming. Life is preparing to break through. That's what's happening with your words, your beliefs, your energy. And even if you don't see the bloom yet, trust the process. The universe is not ignoring you. It's not bypassing you. It's working on your behalf in ways you can't fully grasp. And the more you show up in alignment, the faster the shift becomes visible. So don't wait for evidence to believe. Believe, and the evidence will come. And when it does, when the blessings arrive, when the doors open, when the light returns, I want you to do something powerful. Acknowledge it. Clutch, say thank you. Recognize your own growth. Celebrate the alignment. Not from ego, but from appreciation. Because engagement is a form of gratitude. And gratitude sustains the momentum you've built. And don't forget, the shift doesn't always arrive in dramatic, cinematic fashion. Sometimes it's quiet, gentle, a thought that no longer controls you, a decision made from trust instead of fear. A moment of peace where there used to be panic. That's growth. That's the shift. It's not always lightning and fireworks. Sometimes it's a sunrise. So pay attention. Look for the signs. Notice how your energy has changed. Notice how your inner voice is softer, how your posture is different, how your presence feels stronger. That's alignment. And as you align more and more, you begin to realize something sacred. You were never broken. You never needed fixing. You just needed remembering. You needed to remember how powerful your words are. You needed to remember that the universe has always been listening. You needed to remember that your worth is not something you earn. It's something you embody. And now that you're remembering, now that you're living from that place, everything else begins to realign. People shift, situations shift, emotions settle, miracles unfold. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because you stopped fighting yourself. You stopped speaking lack and started speaking life. You stopped pleading and started declaring. You stopped waiting and started allowing. That's the shift. That's your turning point. And it all began the moment you chose to speak differently, to think differently, to believe differently. Let that truth anchor you as you continue forward. You are the author now. The pen is in your hands, and the universe is ready to respond to the story you're choosing to tell. Now, here you are. You've walked through the words. You've leaned into the feelings. You've remembered what's always been true, that you are a powerful creator and the universe is not separate from you. And it's responding to you with every thought, every word, every breath. So what happens next? Now, you live it. You live with awareness. You speak with purpose. You choose your language like you're choosing the tone of your life. Because you are. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to begin again. Each day, each moment, rooted in the truth that your words are energy, and energy shapes reality. You are no longer someone hoping to be heard. You are someone who knows they're already in dialogue with life itself. You're not waiting for a shift. You are the shift, and you carry that energy into every conversation, every decision, every intention you set. You carry it when you speak to others, but more importantly, you carry it when you speak to yourself. So from this moment on, let your words become sacred. So, let them become a love letter to the future you're calling in. Let them become a celebration of the blessings already surrounding you. Let them become an offering, one that says, I trust the process, I trust the timing, I trust myself. When life gets quiet, and it will, don't confuse stillness with silence. The universe is always in motion. Things are rearranging in your favor. Doors are unlocking. Ideas are rising. Your next level is being shaped. Keep speaking your truth. Keep speaking with belief. Keep speaking as someone who already knows the outcome is aligned. And on the days when your voice shakes, on the days when your faith feels fragile, speak anyway. Speak gently. Speak honestly. Speak the words you most need to hear, and let the universe echo them back to you in ways that make your heart ache with recognition. Because it will, it always does. Life isn't waiting for you to be more worthy. It's waiting for you to recognize that you already are. The universe isn't withholding love or peace or abundance. It's waiting for you to match its frequency, and now you know how. You've remembered how. So walk forward in that knowing. Speak as someone who's already receiving. Speak as someone who's already guided. Speak as someone who understands that every word is a creation. Every thought a magnet. Every moment a chance to shift. You are no longer just participating in life. You're collaborating with it. You're creating from it. And with every word you speak in love, in gratitude, in belief, you open wider to the beauty that's always been trying to reach you. So keep going, keep trusting. And when you speak to the universe tonight or tomorrow or years from now, speak with love, speak with power, speak as someone who finally knows the shift isn't coming. It's already begun, and the rest, it's just unfolding.